As our up-to-the-minute coverage continues, we have some questions and some answers about Houston's response to this crisis.
Yeah, just what will it mean to have 100,000 more residents here? 11 News reporter Nancy Holland takes us to a forum put on by Channel 11 tonight.
Dallas is full.
It is as if a city just slightly smaller than Beaumont has suddenly been added to Houston. Those who have come are exhausted and frustrated.
They've been behaving themselves very well.
Houston's police chief observes there have been no problems larger than scuffles. But one state official goes farther. At a Channel 11 forum tonight, State Senator Rodney Ellis speculated evacuees may not just be benign, they could be of great benefit.
We're not talking about some place you just dropped in off the earth. From out of the earth, you're talking about a metropolitan area of 1 million people with doctors and lawyers and accountants and newscasters.
And like you said,
Whatever they are here.
If we could go back home, we would go back home. We can't go back home, but first and foremost, we are Americans.
And how Houston handles them may say as much about us as it does about them.
Houston right now is being looked on as the model for this nation of how to handle a situation like this with grace, under pressure, generosity, discipline.
At that same forum, one person said New Orleans could become a Pompeii that is never rebuilt. And like Pompeii, many did not or could not flee in time.
But I will tell you, somebody would be in a fantasy land if they think that our nation had foreseen what it would take to evacuate an entire major American city, which has been virtually destroyed. So we are making this up as we go along.
In the weeks to come, there will almost inevitably be questions of why, after all the talk of post-9/11 preparedness, it is still being made up as we go along, even though this time the terrorist was nature. But several of those at tonight's meeting say before those discussions take place, the first priority is still helping people. Live in the newsroom, Nancy Holland, 11 News.
Evacuating the hospitals in New Orleans has been an enormous concern, and the medical emergency on that front is far from over tonight. 11 News reporter Jeff McShann is live now in Baton Rouge, where some 2,000 people have been taken, and he's hearing firsthand the story of that rescue effort. Jeff?
That's right. Tonight we talked with a doctor and 2 nurses about their harrowing experience inside University Hospital in downtown New Orleans. We talked with them in another hospital this evening. They are 3 heroes.
When the water came up in downtown New Orleans, Charles Giroux, Ashley Uffman, and Dr. Roy Collada suddenly found themselves treating patients at University Hospital with no electricity, no food, and then no water.
They kept telling us, they're coming for you, they're coming. They're saying on the news they're coming. But we never saw anything all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday.
Help came Thursday night. Uffman is a registered nurse. She says before the helicopters arrive, at least 40 of their 2,000 patients died.
You know, it's going to take a while to assimilate all the terrible things that we've seen and had to endure for the last few days, but it definitely makes you appreciate what you have.
All of them were involved in taking patients to the helipad. The last one, a 450-pound man that ended up falling, crushing Giroux.
And when they pulled in, I got jammed between the wheelchair and the side of the helicopter, and when they pushed, it just came across me and just went across my whole chest.
He has severely bruised ribs and is suffering from dehydration.
We probably could have left at some point during the first rescue missions, but you know, morally, you just couldn't leave patients behind. Just had to save them all.
They are all heroes. Heroes that are now in Baton Rouge General Hospital for a different reason, watching the news reports and reflecting back on what has happened.
Not in my wildest nightmares did I ever think it'd be this bad.
Just another story tonight from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
And finding stories here, not difficult at all. In fact, we could walk 1 block and probably find an amazing story. They are all over the place here and in New Orleans tonight. We're live in Baton Rouge. I'm Jeff McShann, 11 News.
The misery index has reached the boiling point for many, including the mayor of New Orleans. Ray Nagin says that federal officials are dragging their feet in responding to the city's urgent needs. And he expressed his frustration today in an interview on our sister station's radio broadcast.
I need reinforcements. I need troops, man. I need 500 buses, man. We're talking about You know, one of the briefings we had, they were talking about getting, you know, public school bus drivers to come down here and bus people out here. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. This is a national disaster. Get every doggone Greyhound bus line in the country and get that moving to New Orleans. That's they thinking small, man, and this is a major, major, major deal.
They weren't coach buses, but late today, the mayor did get some transportation. A fleet of school buses rolled into the city to help get evacuees out.
A Louisiana State Police commander says many members of the New Orleans police force have just up and quit. They're walking off the job by the dozens, saying the Big Easy was mass chaos, and they were not going to risk their lives to fight looters.
We were severely outnumbered. The Army, the National Guard, they have to get in. They have to do the job. The police department is helpless.
Walker told us restoring order in New Orleans is a job for the Army, as he said, or the National Guard.
Late today, the president signed a bill sending $10.5 billion in relief aid to those in the hurricane-ravaged states. He called it a down payment on rebuilding the Gulf Coast. In fact, congressional leaders promised that more money would be approved when they returned to Washington from their summer holiday.
Back here at home, there are so many people who are donating. A lot of the aid is beginning to pile up. As 11 News reporter Mike Zentek discovered, rules are being changed to get it to the people who need it most.
Nothing should be going to waste at Reliant Park, not this week. But the piles of rain-soaked clothes sat there on Kirby Drive, left by people who learned they couldn't leave donations here.
The water is just terrible there.
Eva Kennard saw enough sad scenes in New Orleans to last a lifetime, and this upset her.
I think they should have brought it over properly, because they have like 5,000, 10,000 people over there, and I'm sure somebody could have used every piece of clothes here.
Baby powders, deodorant.
But out of the problem came a plan. Officials gave people who'd shown up to drop off supplies a temporary destination, Reliant Center.
Pass down.
The Post Oak YMCA van showed up packed full of clothes.
It feels good inside, but it still hurts inside too, because they still need more than what we're giving.
Volunteers took loaded pallet after loaded pallet inside, quickly covering the floor with water, clothes, and a small hill of baby formula. The bag Raynell Moore dragged contained everything he and his family have right now, which was much more than a few minutes ago.
It's hard for me as a man, as a father, because I'm used to providing for them. And this is the helping hand that I needed. This is what makes me know that America is real.
The H in Houston must stand for heart.
And there's something we want to make clear right now. It is okay to bring your donations here to Reliant Center. Again, it is okay to bring your donations here to Reliant Center. Earlier in the day, that was not the case, but we understand that now has changed. We've also learned in the past few minutes that what they need the most are infant diapers as well as bandages. But of course, anything anybody wants to bring is certainly appreciated. Live at Reliant Park, Mike Zentek, 11 News.